Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good morning, this is CoreTV News on the Hour. I am Martins Dixon. A meeting of the national leadership of the Nigeria Medical Association has ended in deadlock. The meeting, which was called to review the one-month-long doctors' strike, ended on Sunday evening in a stalemate. A source at NMA Secretariat told CoreTV News that the national leadership is divided on whether to call off the strike. The delegates, however, resolved to meet again within the next 48 hours to consider government's response to their demands. United States President Barack Obama plans to host an unprecedented gathering of African leaders this week. One of the issues to be discussed is the security threat posed by Boko Haram. This report seeks to evaluate the solutions anticipated from the summit. The report.
In an audacious attack that stunned the world, Islamist group Boko Haram in April kidnapped over 250 schoolgirls from Chibok in northeastern Nigeria. Over recent years, the organization's fight to create an Islamic state has left over 10,000 dead. To this day, 219 Chibok girls are still missing, and a massive operation in the region by the Nigerian army has done little to restore security.
There's a risk at the moment because Boko Haram operates in the northeastern border region of Nigeria. There is a risk to countries around it. It's known that Boko Haram insurgents do move across borders quite easily, particularly into Niger, Chad, Cameroon, each of the neighbors.
On the other side of the continent, another militant Islamist organization, Al-Shabaab, continues to wage its own war. Driven out of the Somali capital, Mogadishu, in 2011 by African Union troops, the Al-Qaeda-linked group controls swaths of rural Somalia and is wreaking havoc in neighboring Kenya. Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the bloodbath at Nairobi's Westgate shopping mall in 2013 and for several attacks around the tourist island of Lamu. The two groups may have similar methods but are nevertheless distinct.
This is a really important point, this difference between Al-Shabaab and Boko Haram. And they grew out of different contexts, different environments, different drivers. And certainly Al-Shabaab it's more international in the sense of its activities. And also if you look at the geography of the regions, Al-Shabaab is very much more closer to the Gulf. It has more access to other groups and so on. So it's a rather different situation.
In Africa's Sahel and Sahara region, Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb carry out regular attacks on targets deemed opposed to their radical Islamist views. At a time when Africa is opening up to increased international investment, the fight against Islamist militancy is stepping up. Whether anti-piracy operations around the Horn of Africa or counter-insurgency operations on the ground, Africa's radicals are being at best contained but not beaten. And with vast tracts of sparsely populated land in which to train and recruit, they continue to offer marginalized and poor young men the chance to join groups that not only offer an ideology but money.
The General Overseer of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, Pastor Temitope Joshua, says he is ready to partner with the federal and Lagos state governments to help curb the spread of the deadly Ebola virus. Abiola Oluole was at the meeting between the pastor and government medical team. His report is presented from our studios.
Since the reported case of Ebola virus in Lagos, the government and some professionals have been strategizing on how to prevent the spread of the disease in Nigeria. The joint medical team of the federal government, Lagos state government, and representative of the World Health Organization visited the Synagogue Church of All Nations to seek the collaboration of Pastor Temitope Joshua on the best way to advise against seeking spiritual help in treating the killer disease.
We have so far an imported case of Ebola. and our duty is to make sure that it doesn't escape into Nigerians. We are not doubting the power that God has given you. We can't do that. But we can help and work with you to even make it stronger. So our mission is to come here, exploit ways through which we can work together to make sure that this thing does not explode.
Being a church that attracts followership across the West African sub-region and other parts of the world, sensitizing the leadership of the Synagogue Church of all nations is critical in the fight against Ebola disease.
The federal government and state government are working hand in how to control this, how to contain this. We have our strategies, and we said we needed to share it with you. Again, we need to assess what resources you have, because the population here, whether it's one case or two cases, if you allow this to go out, it's a major problem. That's why we are here to work together on how to contain the spread of this disease.
Pastor T.B. Joshua expressed his readiness to join force with government on how to checkmate the spread of the virus, but maintained that his church does not have congregation in Liberia, Guinea and Sierra Leone that are currently ravaged with the disease.
I want to assure you once again that if I have any message for this issue, their president is there, I will go there. Because I know what it means. If somebody comes from the airport to Nigeria, from the airport to get here, innocent people, I understand that. So, I mean, I want to assure you, please, you need to know my heart for this nation.
According to medical experts, there is no non-medical cure for the deadly Ebola virus.
Following the increasing insurgency and recent outbreak of the Ebola virus in the country, Nigerians have been urged to draw closer to God in prayers and repentance of sins for the good of the nation and the world. The Christian Association of Nigeria made the call during its 2014 intercessory prayers for Nigeria held in Benin, Edo State capital, with the theme, A Call to Repentance. The Vice Chairman of CAN and Catholic Bishop of Archdiocese, Gabriel Jr., says the association deemed it necessary to use the event to mobilize Christians all over the state to pray for both the state and the nation in the face of numerous challenges. He said that Nigerians were yet to appreciate the love of God sufficiently through communal living, irrespective of tribe, tongue, or religion. The bishop used the occasion to assure Nigerians of God's unfailing intervention to save the country if they reject evil and embrace repentance. While calling for prayers for peace and good governance, the association also urged the people to pray for their political and religious leaders at all levels of government. A governorship debate tagged Osun Decides 2014 took place in Osogbo, the Osun state capital, but incumbent Governor Rauf Aregbesola, PDP governorship candidate Iola Mishori, and Fatai Akimbade were absent. Social Democratic Party candidate Segun Akinwusi says he is in the race for the youth, while Ibrahim Adewuti says he will overhaul the state of Osun. Adewusi focused on education, saying he will make it affordable for all.
You know that the whole center of any government will be the people. Because when you build infrastructure, you build everything, you need to build this such infrastructure. And so we are taking the interest of the people to our heart.
The reason why I'm doing this is my commitment to service. All I've done in my adult life is to serve. Be it the head of the student union when I was schooling in Russia, or be it when I became the youngest member of the African Ferry, the World Congress of African Ferry in the United States.
But we know the visible, the present circumstance. Yes. I know the economy of this state. I've been immense, like I told for 35 years. I work on that 16 record. Even today, the problem that is on ground, the quantum of debt that this state has, it's not feasible for government to make influence free at that level. But I just believe that because of equity, because of the need to take care of indigenous students and all the rest, we may have to reduce the school fees drastically that it will be affordable.
Don't show instead of making it free.
No, yes, affordable to make it affordable. You know, for example,
as a very active parent in the life of my child, I'll make sure those parents are very active in the decision-making process that happens in the public schools. Now, talking about higher education, I'm going to make it free. Quote me, F-R-E-E with exclamation mark, capital letter. It's been done already. I'm not saying this for politics.
Thank you so much. I'd like to stop you there, but just before that.
Meanwhile, organizers of the governorship debate in Osun condemned the action of the candidates of the major political parties in the governorship election. They accused the leading candidates of denying the people of Osun an opportunity to hear their plans and make informed decisions.
As a candidate, if you don't come and cater to those youth, those educated youth, then you really don't have the population in.
As young people of this state, we have a very large population, and this is the time to begin to say, if we want to copy democracy, we must copy all the good things around it. So if we are calling them for a debate and they are running away or shying away, what they mean is the youths are not important to them and they can go to hell with their votes.
But we will continue to provide the platform as long as we can, and hope over the years the culture of debate will begin to matter, because at the end of the day, debates are about ideas.
The Osun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has warned the Independent National Electoral Commission against recruiting members of the Osun Youth Empowerment Scheme as ad hoc staff for the August 9 governorship election in the state. The party said it had been informed that some chieftains of the All Progressives Congress have infiltrated INEC and were fraudulently enlisting OAS candidates for recruitment as ad hoc staff for the election. In a statement issued by the Director of Media and Strategy of Osun PDP, Diron Odemi, the party specifically accused Senator Isiaka Adeleke of forcing INEC officials to recruit OAS cadets for election duties in his constituency. The party advised members of OAS to be wary of antics of the APC leaders by declining to be fraudulently enlisted for election duties, saying any OAS cadet caught by the security operatives will face the consequences alone. Reacting to the allegation, the spokesperson of the APC in Osun, Kunle Oyatomi, urged the PDP to report to INEC if they have evidence to back their claim and described the allegation as illogical. You're watching CoreTV News on the Hour. We'll take a short break and we'll be back to continue. Don't go away.
Nigerians continue to the city of Lagos.
There is still a one level of
Be the first to know from the north, south, east, west and around Africa. We break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are CoreTV News.
Welcome to CoreTV.
24-hour news station.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News.
The popular movie Sound of Music will be 50 years old by next year since it was first premiered. Austria is capitalizing on tourists who come to visit the locations where the film was shot to make brisk business. A report.
For generations, the Sound of Music has attracted tourists of all ages and nationalities to Salzburg, where both the true life story of the singing Von Trapp family and the Hollywood movie took place. It's become big business for the city, drawing almost as many tourists as its main attraction of Mozart and classical music.
300,000 visitors come to Salzburg almost exclusively because of the Sound of Music. That's just a great story. It's the most successful location selling in film history.
Austrians always knew about the Von Trapp family, whose story was made into several films here in the 1950s. But the Broadway and Hollywood versions hardly made a mark in this part of the Alps until recently. The musical on which the film was based only premiered in Salzburg in 2011 and was a huge success. Sound of Music puppet performances, exhibits and concert and dinner evenings have also made an appearance in recent years. But the biggest draw of all for foreign visitors remains the Sound of Music tours. Every day, dozens of tourists jump on a bus to see the original film locations, learn more about the movie, and of course, sing along to the catchy tunes.
I've always loved the movie. It was the first musical my mom showed me and got started from there and saw it on Broadway. Just something about the movie, you know, captures audiences' attention, and it's magical. So just seeing, I mean, the beautiful scenery, the Alps, it's very heartwarming.
Got good music, good scenery. I think it's timeless as well though. Like, I mean, my parents love it, my nan watches it, so it brings everyone together.
The musical has been around since 1959, but new stage and television productions pop up every year, from Canada to China and India, proving interest in the Sound of Music is very much alive, to the delight of Salzburg tourism industry.
It's a family film. We've had visitors who were first here backpacking, then came with their wives, later with their children, and today they come with their grandchildren.
Next year, the movie turns 50 years, and Salzburg is already in talks with the film studio and musicals rights owners for a special tribute.
That's all we can take on this hour. Join us on top of the hour for more in-depth news and reports. The Core Digest is next. Stay with us.